Good morning, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and this morning we're going to do this wonderful card. This is what it looks like. I'll show you more of it later. I've already got the close-up and zoomed in on my Gypsy, because this is a Gypsy made simple, and I can't even remember how long it's been. And I'll tell you what, it's been forever since I have done anything. And I'm doing this card, and I'm actually doing a redo because I made a mistake. I mean, it had been months since I worked on my Gypsy, and I did this card, and the size was off a little bit. I still used the card because I'll give it to my husband. It was off by 1/8 of an inch, but you know, when you make a card, you want it 4 1/4 inches across this way, and you want it 5 1/2. Well, I've got the 5 1/2, but on my 4 1/4 didn't work out that way, so I want it absolutely correct. So what I'm going to do is, since I've got the pieces, which basically I just don't have to do the pieces, or you know, get the pieces out. I've already got them done. And I'm going to take off one of them so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now, what I used first, and let's get the pieces of artwork so you know where I got it from. The frames I got on Elegant Edges, and then the artwork I got on Forever Young. Okay? So we'll go back to the drawing board here. Now, my frame has got to be, and it says that it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but see where my problem was? I didn't have my ratio key on over here, this highlighted in yellow, and as soon as I did, it showed my width as 4.06 and my height 5.49. So I'm going to take off this little chain here off the link, and I'm going to change this to 5.5 so that it's absolutely correct. And I'm going to change the width to 4.25. Now it is perfect. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to change this to 4.25 and width to 5.50. Now I'm going to ungroup this so that, and then I'm also going to unweld it so you can see the whole process as I do it. Now, oops, I didn't want that. Let's go back to this and the basic key, and I'm going to set my my Y at 6.05. 6.0, oops, backspace, 05. And I'm going to set my Y on this one. See how they're not matching? This one sits higher than the other, at 6.05. Now, they are exactly across the same, okay? The tops match exactly. They're on the same line. Now, what I've done on my fancy frames is I've taken the left one here, and I've already hidden under Hide Contour the center, okay? And what I want to do is I want to take and move this over so it sits right on top of the other so that they're touching. And this one is highlighted, so all I'm going to do is move it. I hit the wrong button. I got to change that back to 6.05. There we go. And I've got to move it over to the right so they just slightly touch. And see that? See how it's just slightly over the edge there? Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to take my group button, touch it, tap it, and put that on there. Okay? Now I want to go to the Advance button and weld it. And you can look by just seeing with the eye and see how it's perfectly welded. Now we have one other situation, and I want to show you what I did also. I was going to do a black background, but then after I was looking at it, I thought I love the paper that has a pattern to it, any type of pattern. And what I had originally thought is I'll do black and then I'll have this in regular. So I had my lady set up in shadow, and then I had the color part that I cut in regular. Well, I want to change that now, and I'm going to go back to Forever Young and get that lady, and I am going to put her in shadow, or keep her in shadow. She's in shadow right now in this particular one, but what I did for the lady on top is I used for on layer 2, and I want to show you layer 2. I've got 2 ladies, but they are not in the shadow key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete them. Go to my basic key, delete them, X, X. And I want to delete this also. Or no, I can, well, let's delete it and redo. I'm basically redoing this whole thing. I just needed to keep my artwork. Okay, now she's already set in a shadow. So all I need to do is get her on here in the right position that I want, and I want to zoom in again. And as you can see, she fits perfectly, but I want to move her over. I want her over a little bit more to the right. Because in this particular instance, I want plenty of room for my window, because my window, we have a special treatment, and so I wanted plenty of room. So now I've done that, and since I've got her and I need her to cut her on, to place her in a color on top on the card here, I've got her highlighted, and all I'm going to do is go to layer 2, layer 2, and I'm going to hit the copy button. And I'm going to place her on the right here, and then I'm going to copy her again and place her on the right, and just leave her there and go back to layer 1. Okay, now right now I've got this in 2 pieces. I need to grab her again, go back to my group button and group her with the rest, then go back to my weld button, and look at this, she's going to cut perfect. See that? Can you see it? Let me see if I can't zoom in a little bit more so you can see exactly what I mean. See how perfectly that's going to cut? So what's going to happen is I am going to cut this on a white sheet of paper, and then I'm going to cover, and I'll show you in just a sec exactly what I mean. Now, take the eyeball off, and I want to go to layer 3, and I am going to delete layer 3. Not delete the whole thing, just delete the components on it, because remember I had the wrong size, so I need to actually do the right size. So we're going to delete all that. Okay? Go back to layer 1. I'm going to grab the whole thing, and I am going to go to my advanced key and make a copy. Now I am actually going to cut this on a solid white, because what I'm in, let me show you on the card, hold on. I've got it now set up on the screen, as you can see. Let me zoom out now so you can see this card. Now what I did, and I'm going to move this aside so you can see, I cut the whole card in white. Okay, I cut it all in white, and then I used a panel, and we're going to make that panel, and the panel was glued on the front. I made another center panel which is identical to this back, and so it would print on the pattern. Okay, and then I did a sheet on the inside so that it would just fit within, and I could put my my sentiment on it, or anything that I wanted to write on there. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to do now. Oh, and look at this unique treatment we're doing. Look at this. What I did is I took just the little film, you know, that you get off, the little plastic pieces that you get off of the carts when you purchase them. I used that plastic. I cut it to size, and I physically cut it. Okay, I did not cut it off my Gypsy. I physically cut a little square to fit in that area, and then I ran it through my Cuttlebug, and I just picked a folder. In this one, I happened to use the Sizzix Swirl folder. Cuttlebug's got one also, but I wanted it tighter, and the Sizzix had a tighter swirl than the Cuttlebug one, so I used that one. Normally, my favorite is actually the Cuttlebug one. But now, let's go back to this and let's finish this up. You can hear the washing machine going in the background, can't you? Okay, now, this is already highlighted, okay? So we're going to leave it highlighted, and we're going to go to layer 3, and all I'm going to do is copy it so that I have one there. I'm going to move it up, get it up there, and then I'm going to copy it again and move the copy down. Why isn't, there we go, copy's moving. Move it over a little bit, down. Now, what I want to do is I need this to cut 2 separate things, so 4 separate things. I need the front frame and I need the back for the inside of the car. So the front frame is for the frame on the card along here. The back frame is for the back along here, okay? So all I'm going to do is highlight the one, and you see it turn purple, and then move, whoops, and then you move that over so that it cuts separately. Highlight that one, and you see it turn purple, and then you move it over. Now it's going to cut 4 separate pieces, but they're the exact pieces that I need, okay? Now I've got, this is already highlighted. I'm going to go back to layer 2, and I'm going to copy. It will bring the whole image, but I'll just knock off what I don't want, okay? And X, delete that. I need this smaller box because the inside of the image is hidden, and I feel excuse me, a sneeze coming on. Sorry about that. And I'm going to ungroup it, and I'm going to unweld it because we don't need it welded. And all I'm going to do is go and show, whoops, stay on layer 2, and I'm going to touch the eyeball on layer 1 so that you can see, there we go, so you can see through it, okay? And I'm going to line it up perfectly, and I think you can see this. Let's make sure that you're in. You see this is highlighted, and you can see just a little bit of the gray around it. Well, what I want to do is I want to line up, and I've got it lined up with the square on the top. So this matches the top square, and then all I'm going to do is touch the small button to shrink it in a little bit so that I have a cut that I can make for the inside of the card for the sentiment area. That's all I did. That's simple. Isn't that easy? And you just make it a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to hide layer 1 again. Easier said than done. There we go. And then I'm just going to copy that, line those 2 up. So all I have to do is use a piece of white scrap to cut that out, because let's face it, we always have white scrap laying around, don't we? And then I want to take, and I'm panning, by the way, which is holding down with my thumb here and then moving the screen, and it doesn't move the artwork. And then I want to get her to get as close to the edge as I can where it was still cut. And I'm hoping, and I'm trying to see if I see it somewhere sitting on my desk. I've got that strip of that, what is it called? Here it is. I've got it. Standing up looking. A strip of this cardstock, border stock. See this? Border cardstock. And it's about 2 inches wide. And I can use that to cut any color I want. And I've got all these. This was a wonderful gift by my friend Anita. And my glitter cardstock border stack, and I just love it. And I thank you, Anita, if you're out there watching. And but I need to stay within that 2 inches, so I want it as close as possible. And there, I've got my colors. Okay, now we've got our 3 different layers. And I'm just going to hit save because I already saved it once. And I made the card, and it had been so long since I'd done the windows, I didn't check my sizes properly, and it didn't come out all right. This time it's perfect. And I'm actually going to make this for our card party. And because you can put any kind of sentiment in it. Let me move this aside now. You've got the Gypsy Made Simple, and let me zoom out, show you this card. And I actually, remember, I make things 2 up. I'll show you the other one as soon as I find it here. Here's the other one. And aren't they beautiful? They just shimmer. And I love the look of this window, and it makes it so sturdy when you have that in there. And the second video that's on here will show you how to put that card together, and it's simple, easy peasy, done in no time at all. And on this one, I used a sentiment from the Stamps of Life. I belong to their monthly club. And the stamp I used is "You are forever and always in my heart." And this is actually, oh, and I took this here heart. Look at this. This is such a good idea. It's actually an outline, okay? But I flipped it upside down, and by flipping it upside down, since it sticks, it made a solid for me. So I have a solid heart. But notice how pretty that just shines through because it's matching color. And then I'm going to make these, and I'm going to stamp the ones for our card party, happy birthday, because I need happy birthday cards, and I know we all do. And it just makes a cute little happy birthday. And on that, I don't know, I used Close to My Heart, the Celebration, and I don't know, I think it's a discontinued stamp. I'm not sure, but it's Celebration. Either that or it came, no, this one came with the Art Philosophy card, I think, but it doesn't have a number on it because it came with that card. And then I thought another thing would be nice is The Best Things in Life Aren't Things, and that is from the Best Things stamp set. But any stamp set you have, you could use. I even pulled out another one from Close to My Heart called Fashionista, and Love Who You Are would be perfect inside of there too, for maybe something, an encouragement card for a friend. So there's all different things that you can do with this card, and I'm using Old Carts, Elegant Edges, and Forever Young. You have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us today on She's a Sassy Lady, and you can tell my energy level is really up. It's early in the morning. I have to get ready to go to work now, and the second video is late at night, and I'm kind of hush-hushy because hubby was snapping on the couch downstairs right below where I'm sitting, and I've got this wonderful window that zooms down over the living room, and that stays open all the time, and I didn't want to wake him, so I kind of was real quiet on the next video. So you just stay tuned and watch how we put it together, okay? Bye now.